of the Constitution, 1999, as amended. Can I take the leave of Mr. President to read out, sir? Thank you, Mr. President of the Senate. My name is Darlington Nwokocha. I speak for the entire Nigeria, but Abia Central in particular. Mr. President, I want to read Section 88, 1, A and B, but I will anchor my position on B. Let me start from 1. Subject to the provision of this Constitution, each House of the National Assembly shall have power by resolution published in its journal or in the official gazette of the government of the Federation to direct or cause to be directed investigation into any matter or thing with respect to which it has power to make laws. B, the conduct of the affairs of any person, conduct of affairs of any person, authority, ministry, or government department charged or intended to be charged with the duty of or responsibility for executing or administering laws enacted by National Assembly and disbursing or administering monies appropriated to be appropriated by the National Assembly. Mr. President of the Senate, I'm aware that this National Assembly and this arm, the Senate, has 3 major mandates. 1, lawmaking. Secondly, oversight. And thirdly, representation. And I know quite well that what we are doing today is a continuation of what we did yesterday. And I'm happy to have the nominee here present, and he has said wonderful things, and which of them he said that he used instrumentality of law, which he is part and parcel of, to advance the cause of justice. And I know quite well as well that this House or this Senate usually use the instrumentality of legislature to advance the cause of fairness. Mr. President of the Senate, I want to bring to the notice, because I've been a 2-time House of Assembly member, 2-time House of Rep member, and today a senator. And I was in the 8th Assembly of the House of Representatives, and the 9th Assembly, and today I am here. And I know that our rule book does not in any way exclude the continuation of free-will drive of one section to the other. Having said that, Mr. Senate President, I want to bring to the notice of this House that sometime in 2020 that an issue came up, and that issue was the public works program. We all welcomed it with open hands, because this is something that will help our people. Today we are talking about paying 8,000 to some people to make sure that it will alleviate poverty. Then it was the amount of 20,000 to 1,000 persons across the 774 local governments, which my local government is part of it, and I'm sure your local government is part of it. And today, 1,000 per each local government minimum, 20,000 naira, has a great multiplier effect that will make our people cushion so many effects that will have led our people into a very greater height. But what really happened? At a point, we wanted to carry out our responsibility, because if some people can use the instrumentality of law, which they find themselves within their confines of their own authority, to advance for all their justices, why can't we use the instrumentality of the legislature to support our people and help the populace which we represent? Then, at that point, we invited the nominee, because this thing has been a subject of controversy and public debate, which I don't know We wanted to know and give him fair hearing. Please tell us, because it's now within our own confines authority to know what happened to our constituents. Say, please come and tell us what really happened. What is the structure? What are the indices you are using to carry out these things? Because our people will hold us responsible and accountable. And when he was invited, what we are talking about is a 52 billion naira appropriation, and the right of appropriation resides on the legislature. That is our right. And I know quite well that the right of oversight resides on us, because we have to hold you accountable for whatever thing we appropriate to you. It is our right. Yes. And when he was invited, he expressly told us, to the public, that we want to hijack his role. That we want to blackmail us, that we are corrupt, that we want to hijack his role. And I know that he midwifed the process. Nobody's against that. He midwifed the process, and this falls within his own area of operation as the junior minister for labor and employment. Highly welcomed. And not only that, he went as far as in the public line to say that when he was asked, which indices did you use to gain this? He said, in quote, they are not from the moon. That was too arrogant to answer Nigerians that way. Because we are talking about what we support and help our people. That is why we are here. Anything outside that, I will walk away from this chamber. My interest, your interest, and the interest of everybody is our people. That is why we are here. Not whatever thing any person is saying. And today, we need to find out, Mr. Senate President. Nobody is stopping him from being cleared. No. And I'm happy the way the president has sent so many people, great people here. We have questioned them, passed through the screening, wonderful people, and we're ready. As much as they are ready to work with the system, we are ready to clear them. But not on the grounds of putting something under the table, not granting some people fair hearing, because I would like us to grant him fair hearing, since he has been running away from it, for Nigerians to know what really happened. Because I wouldn't like any person to be holding them, because this thing has been subject of debate here and there. What happened to the 52 billion? What happened to the... But he is here, and it's our responsibility to find out. So, Mr. President of the Senate, I'm of the opinion, so strongly, that he has to tell us what really happened, but not here. We have to keep it down a little bit. We're not saying that we're not going to clear him. This is a house that can reconvert at any point. You can even call for an emergency and we'll reconvert. Because we would not like what happened at the last administration, where some people felt that the president was in charge and so many other things were happening out there. Yeah. We won't take it this time around. Yes. We want a situation, we hold you responsible from the onset. Since Mr. President has started showing us the right hand, we must follow along that side to make sure that we work with him in that right hand as well. Therefore, Mr. President of the Senate, I'm of the opinion that we hold this down a little bit, and I move a motion that we suspend forthwith this nomination and wait until when this is clear, so that he can freely work in our environment and tell Nigerians, I have perfectly done well because this record has been put straight. That is my submission, Mr. Senate President. I rest my case. Distinguished colleagues, the point of order raised by Senator Darlington Ugocha is noted, but on the motion there is no seconder. Okay, but let's find out first. Senator, there's a motion on the ground. If you want, you can second it and amend it, whatever. So if there is no seconder,
Leader of the Senate, the point of order had been noted. Now he also proceeded to move a motion, which has not been seconded. So, okay, Senator Abaribe, let me hear you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to second the motion, very ably moved by Senator Darlington Wokocha, that in view of Section 88 B of the 1B of the Constitution, which mandates the National Assembly to go ahead and look into the conduct of affairs of any person, authority, or ministry. And where such a person refuses and deliberately stays away from letting the National Assembly do its work, and in view of the fact that this nominee rejected the summons of both the House of Representatives and the Senate, that I do support that this nominee should be stepped down pending when he decides that the National Assembly has that right to inquire into the workings of a minister and his ministry. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded. Those who are in support of the motion that the screening of the nominee be stepped down until further inquiries, say aye. Aye. Those who are against, say nay. Distinguished colleagues, don't worry. Distinguished colleagues,
just like any other minister. He has been accused of
distinguished colleagues. Speak from there, please. Distinguished colleagues, I will put the question again.
Give him the chance to talk. We're supposed to be fair. Give him the chance to talk.
Distinguished colleagues, distinguished colleagues, order. Mr. President, point of order. Mr. President, point of order. Somebody is sorting us here. Distinguished colleagues, distinguished colleagues, I will put the question again.
Order, please. Distinguished senators, sit down, please. Order, please. Distinguished senator, take your seats, please.
Distinguished colleagues, distinguished colleagues, the President of the Senate, sit down. The President of the Senate is on his feet. Refer to Order 62 of our rules, and I'll read for those who may not have gone through. Whenever the President of the Senate or the chairman rises during a debate, any senator then speaking or offering to speak shall immediately sit down, and the Senate or the committee shall be silent so that the President of the Senate or the chairman may be heard without any interruption. I am of the view that we are not the people that nominated the nominees that we have been screening. It's from the President. a lot of indices must have been taken into consideration. Under a rowdy situation, we cannot arrive at anything. But I've noticed that from the even here, some of you are prepared to stretch the rule to even asking for division. But we will not go that route. Leader of the Senate, lead us right.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, and very, very distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, may I at this time move that we dissolve into an executive session to be able to iron out some issues. But before that, I guess my first motion should have been based on Order 8 sub 3 of our rules to move for an extension of time for this Senate to be able to sit beyond 2 p.m. This should have happened some 13 minutes ago, but for what was going on. So, sir, please take it that my first motion right now is a motion for extension of time based on Order 8 sub 3 of our rules to enable us clear the other items on the other paper. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to second the motion that will extend our sitting time to beyond 2 o'clock to enable us continue today's proceeding. I so second. And no, he will. And okay.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion do late has been moved and seconded by the minority leader that this August Assembly do extend its sitting time beyond 2 p.m. Those who are in support of that motion say aye. Aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. Our sitting period is extended beyond 2 p.m. Minority leader. The Senate leader. Is this your confusion here?
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues. I move that we resolve into an executive session to enable us a closed session, otherwise also known as executive session, to help us iron out some issues. Thank you.
I rise to second the motion that we resolve into a closed session to discuss very important issue with regards to the screening. I so second, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, a motion has been moved and seconded that this Senate do resolve into a closed session to iron out some issues of national concern. Those who are in support of this closed session as moved say aye. Aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. The Senate will now revert to a closed session